And welcome. We're having a lot of fun here in Las Vegas. It's a beautiful, beautiful day this summer. My name is Pablo Miguel, and I'm welcoming you to manifesting your dreams. And what we do every week, we actually going over a chapter out of this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, who has identified the 17 principles that most successful people in all walks of life literally over 100 years have in common. And we mentioned one of those principles, and we have a guest that actually has manifested his or her dreams. That way we can give you some ideas, tips, strategies, or inspiration, so you can also manifest your dreams, because it is possible, but there's a little bit of a recipe, there's a little bit of a formula that you actually have to follow through. So if this is the first time watching us, welcome. And I'm here with a very good friend of mine, Dr. Donald Ozello. He is a very well-known chiropractor here in town, and we met 7, 8, 9 years ago.
Probably longer ago than
that. Like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, we were at Toastmasters.
Toastmasters. So we were both at Toastmasters, and I remember he was giving a speech it was a speech competition, and he was phenomenal. So, oh my God, this guy is so good. And I need to say hi, and that's how we met. And then I found out we had a local practice here in town. So we have people watching, God knows where from, maybe all over the world. Just type down where you're watching for. We like to know that. Just put it at the bottom. So why don't you introduce yourself, tell our viewers a little bit about you, your background, and so they get to know you a little better.
Sure thing. Thank you very much, sir. Hello, everybody. My name is Donald Ozello. I'm a doctor of chiropractic. My office, Championship Chiropractic, is located in the beautiful city of Las Vegas. I've been practicing here since 2005. I have a family practice, but my passion is really treating athletes. I treat athletes of all ages, all sports, and all levels. Doesn't matter if someone is a recreational athlete, if someone is an intermediate athlete, or if they are a more advanced athlete. Doesn't matter if the sport is running, if it's football, if it's swimming, gymnastics, or if someone just likes to hit the gym every day. Everybody is an athlete, and I love to treat athletes at my practice, Championship Chiropractic. I want to say thank you before we even start, Pablo. Thank you for having me here today.
My pleasure.
It's a pleasure. It is great to be on the show with you. I have also seen you speak, and I know that your presentations are spectacular. So I look forward to today.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's been tough to get Dr. Ozello here today, because he runs a busy life. So we're very, very privileged to have you here today. And the chapter that we're going over, if you think about your dreams, right? We talk about having a definite purpose, right? One of the reasons some people succeed is because they have a very clear outcome, what they want to achieve. And people that fail, when they have an outcome, and then when they run into some challenges, they say, well, maybe this is not for me, and they keep jumping from one thing to the other one, right? We talk actually about having imagination. We talk about having faith. We talk about having the desire, right? Because there are going to be challenges at anything that we do. But there's one area that, interesting enough, you really don't get to hear a lot when you take courses about manifesting or goal setting, and that is acquire specialized knowledge, okay? And this is the part that takes a lot of effort, right? So if you want to be successful at anything, right? Yes, you have to have heart. Yes, you have to have determination. But you want to become an expert in your field. You want to take the time that it takes to learn and become an expert, right? And I don't have the statistics with me right now, but I know how many people, they get into college. It's not easy to get into college, right? And then they don't finish, right? Or they say, oh, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a doctor, right? And maybe they quit along the way, right? So we have somebody that actually went through all those challenges. He got his degree, and then after they get the degree, is okay, now I have a degree, now I have to put it in practice, right? Overcoming challenges, right? So Dan actually is one of those people that actually had a very successful practice. And by the way, if you have any friends that like to run or like to exercise, type their name at the bottom, and we're going to talk about his book a little later, but he actually has a published book with amazing information about running, which is something that we like to do, in places like Las Vegas, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what kept you going when you were going to school, and the challenges getting your education, getting your specialized knowledge, and that never ends, right? Because now you have to continue with that education. So what's a couple of tips you can share with us?
That is actually an excellent question. I feel that no matter what we are doing in life, you have to have the heart. You had mentioned the heart. You have to have the passion. You have to have the drive. And you put those things together and you work hard consistently. You figure out whatever it is that you want to do and you consistently work towards that goal. Now, going to chiropractic college, yes, it was very tough. We learned a great deal. There was a joke in the first couple semesters where they used to say that going to chiropractic college the first couple semesters was like trying to take a drink of water from a fire hydrant, because all this information is just trying to get pushed right at you. And obviously we had to take our anatomy, our physiology, the biochemistry, all of the basic sciences, the pre-med type courses to get into chiropractic college. But in chiropractic college, we have to know not only anatomy, but what we call the functional anatomy. We have to know how the joints work. We have to know how the muscles work, how the nervous system works, how the fascia works, and how that all interlaces together, and why injuries occur, and what we can do to help those people not only to recover from those injuries, but to, first of all, to prevent those injuries in the very beginning, and then to recover from those injuries and use every tool that we possibly can and they possibly can to help them get better. First of all, the proper diagnosis, getting the right direction and figure out what exactly that person needs. And then the treatment protocols in the office. And then one thing that I love to do is patient education. Teaching people things that they can do outside of my office that can help them to live a healthier, fitter, more functional life. It could be exercises, it could be general exercise, it could be specific exercise, it could be nutrition. Ergonomics is very important, so that's another point that I stress. Recovery. Recovery is the most neglected part of health and fitness. So we have to make sure that people are recovering not only with their injuries, but from their everyday activities and from their training. So all that adds into helping a person recover from their injury, prevent their injury, and live a healthier, fitter, more functional life. So those are all the things that I had to learn specifically. And like you mentioned, I'm still learning. I teach chiropractic continuing education webinars on sports medicine, but I also take a lot of webinars and I read a lot. And in order to teach the classes, I have to look at a lot of research papers, numerous research papers. So I'm always keeping up on what is going on with the research and learning new things about different conditions. So it's something where it is a continual learning process. When I got out of chiropractic college and got my license, I thought, man, my schooling's done. This is great. All I'm going to do now is work. And I was completely wrong. I have learned more since I graduated than I learned before I graduated. First of all, just from the experience of treating patients, being in the treatment room, because the saying is, the joke is, the patients don't read the textbooks. So the patients don't know what they have, and they're going to ask a lot of questions. And so when someone comes into the office, it isn't just that boom, 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 they have this, they have this, they have this, they have this, and it's a checklist. There are times where they may have a couple things of a condition, a couple things of another condition, a couple things of a third condition. So you have to add that all in and figure out exactly what the sources of those conditions are, and to eliminate those sources, and to teach people things to eliminate those sources and the contributing factors. So it is something where I have learned so much from studying and learning, like I said, when I was in school, but more so when I have been out of school, especially now that I'm teaching, because I have to be up on everything. So it's the idea of knowing exactly what I want to teach my students, how I can help my students to treat their patients even better, and make everybody more successful, and make their patients healthier, fitter, and increase their function.
That sounds fantastic, and I'm so glad. Some of the things that you mentioned is like, I'm the kind of guy that if I go to the doctor, like usually the traditional doctors, they spend 15 minutes with you, if that long, right? And is that they come, they just look at a chart and they're gone, and you have no idea what you have going on, right? They just tell you, they give you a prescription, and then you're pretty much on your own. So I appreciate, by the way, the fact that you really care about patients as people, and that you give them instructions. What can they do, right? So like you educate them, so they leave in your office with actually value, right?
Exactly.
Changes that they could make, because most people think like they go through their lives and then they say, oh, you have this particular illness or condition. Oh, I'm so unlucky, whatever. But so many times that could have been prevented, right?
Yes.
But there's some lifestyle changes that people can actually make, right?
Yes.
So that's very powerful. What you just shared. I appreciate that you do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that people can do to eliminate the contributing factors, or to make the contributing factors so that they are less of contributing factors. And there are so many things that they can do to help themselves, and that's why I do the patient education. That's what my YouTube page is all about. That's what my book is all about. You know, for example, just this past week on Wednesday, a young man came into my office and he was having some issues, and between his first and second visit, I sent him an email with links to probably like 15 to 20 different of my videos that I've done. And so he came in with that printed out, and he was asking me all these questions. And so that goes to show me how much this young man wants to get better. It shows me that he is dedicated and determined to overcome the issues that he has right now and get back to doing the activities that he wants to do.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. And we have a couple of things. We're going to go into a break right now.
Okay.
But we're going to get back, and I'd like you to share when we get back a couple of things that people can actually do, people that are watching right now, that could actually help them. So you don't want to miss, actually, you want to invite your friends so they come and they watch. You want to share this with people. And you are in Manifesting Your Dreams with Pablo Miguel. If you like us to keep you informed of other interviews we have coming, just go to manifestingyourdreams.net. NET, manifestingyourdreams.net, and we'll keep you posted on future events. We're here with Dr. Donald Ozello, and I'm excited about the next segment, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back. You're here at ManifestingYourDreams.net with Pablo Miguel. I'm here with Dr. Donald Ozello in Las Vegas, and we're having a great time. I mean, this guy is so interesting. It's just like we're talking when we're not filming. I'm thinking like, oh my God, we should be filming this. All this great information that he's sharing. But we're doing. We're going over Manifesting Your Dreams. We're going over Think and Grow Rich. This week we're talking about specialized knowledge, right? Specialized knowledge. This is so important because so many times you talk to people and they go like, oh, I do this or I do that. And I say, wow, that's great. You know, where did you learn that? And they took a weekend course, right? And now they're like instant experts, right? Or they even gave them a certification or something, right? And I go like, wow, there's people that study years and years and years, and they're still studying to become excellent at what they do. So you want to, you may want to watch a previous chapter that we have about being definiteness of purpose. Who do you want to become? What do you want to achieve in your life? What is the one thing you like to bring as your gift to the world, and then become a world-class expert at what you do, right? And it's been said, when you look at people that they seem to be talented, right? Maybe sports people, or maybe writers or entertainers, they're so talented, right? Or they're so lucky. And when you get to study their lives, then you find out they went through so many challenges.
Of course, yes.
But what they did was they focused on what they wanted to do, right? And they called it 10,000 hours, right?
Okay.
They say it takes 10,000 hours. Just imagine that, even if you're doing it part-time, right?
Yes.
5 hours or 10 hours a week, 20 years later, right, you got your 10,000 hours, and now suddenly you're an expert. So we're talking here with Don. He actually has seen, thousands of or hundreds of patients, I don't know, a lot of patients. So it's not just the getting the education, but also getting the practice and then seeing how they evolve. So health, I think, is very important if you want to be successful.
Of course, yes.
If you want to manifest your dreams, you better be in good shape, right? You better do everything you can to stay healthy. So what are 3 tips that you can give our viewers that you see, because you see so many people that if they could focus on those 3 things, they will be ahead of, let's say, the masses as far as their health. Do you have anything that you can share related to that?
Yes, there's many things that I could go over, to be honest with you. But one of the things, I mentioned this in the first segment, was recovery.
Okay.
Recovery. Many injuries that I see in my office are because people are overtraining or they're overdoing it. Okay, they're overworking. They're not giving their body adequate rest between their training sessions. It's non-traumatic injuries. They are injuries that build up over time, because people they train, and they are creating could be a strength imbalance. They are not allowing their muscles or their ligaments or their tendons or even the bones to recover from their training. No matter what sport that it is, there are overtraining injuries that are involved. It could be something, I had mentioned the bone, it could be something like a stress fracture, okay? It could be a muscle issue, like people with the knees, they can get what is nicknamed runner's knee. It's called patellofemoral pain syndrome, where there's a strength imbalance. And so it's very important that you get adequate rest between your training sessions. All of overuse injuries have 3 issues in common, 3 contributing factors in common. First of all, it is overtraining, doing too much too soon. Number 2 is getting inadequate rest between training sessions. And number 3 is some type of biomechanical fault in the body. So the first 2 are extrinsic factors. They are outside the body. Those are things that we are doing that are causing these. And the biomechanical fault is an intrinsic factor. So it is something that is inside our body. And that is the weak spot that is going to get injured when we are doing too much. So we have to recover. You have to allow your body the chance to recover. It is so neglected that I see these injuries all the time, and I've done it. You get
I know. You're just talking, and I say, oh my God, he's been watching me.
You get overzealous, you get excited, and you get out there and you do too much too soon. And an injury occurs in an area where a biomechanical fault is present. So we have to think about that. Okay, is preventing these injuries by you formulate a good treatment plan that includes adequate rest and recovery. Okay. Yes. And then number 2, like I spoke about, is a biomechanical fault, right? Many times biomechanical faults occur because we are only doing one type of training or one type of exercise. So we want to do some cross training. We want the most important thing in exercise, find something that you enjoy.
That you like, right? That makes a difference.
If you have to enjoy it,
yes,
then it's not going to be a job. It's not going to be something that you hate, and you will continue to do it. So find something you enjoy, do it correctly, and do it consistently. And then find a second type of exercise that you enjoy that complements that first type of exercise, and do that one correctly and consistently. Because if you love to run, and I love running, I run a couple times a week, anywhere from 1 mile to 4 or 5 miles, and I love that. But that's only part of my routine. So if you're a runner, you want to make sure that you include some type of strengthening exercise and some type of flexibility exercise. And I say this in my book, is that cross training is vital, because running, as great of an exercise as it is, it doesn't strengthen the upper body. It doesn't increase flexibility. So we want to make sure that we do some resistance training to strengthen our upper body, to strengthen the legs, to eliminate any strength imbalances or biomechanical faults. And we want to make sure that we do our flexibility training, do our stretching, not only to increase flexibility, but to decrease muscle tension. I always tell people in my office, when you're doing your stretching, you're not training to be a contortionist. You're not training to do the splits. You are stretching to decrease muscle tension.
Decrease the tension.
So go over the first 2 points again. Is we want to do everything that we can to prevent overtraining. And then the second thing is we want to do cross training. So those two things are very important in our exercise routine, in our training routine, and basically in our life. And then the third thing is, this goes along with both of the points that we're going to talk about, is you want to listen to your body's signals. Pain, symptoms, numbness, tingling, burning, fatigue, those are your body's signals. Your body is telling you something. So you have to listen to those. And you modify your training so that you don't get injured, so that you recover from your injuries. If you are fatigued, or if you are still sore, you're still tight, or you just don't feel right from a workout or some type of training that you had previously, give yourself time to recover. Listen to your body's signals. Give yourself time to recover. If you are still sore from a training session, do not perform that same type of training session again. Find another type of exercise, or just spend the day stretching and recovering. And then nutrition. Nutrition, I'm not going to delve into it too deep, but you have to find what works for you. Because what works for you may not work for me.
It may never be the same thing, right?
And I hear this all the time. People say, oh, I'm going to try this diet. I'm going to try these nutritional strategies. This worked for my friend. This worked for a guy that I trained with. This worked for a gal that I ran with. But that may not work for you. There are general rules, but specifically there are individual things that each of us need to do. You may have a food allergy. You may have a food intolerance. Sometimes it just may be taste. Other people, depending on what their training is, they may need more protein, they may need more fat, they may need more carbohydrates, all along those lines. So we have to think about those things and develop nutritional strategies that work for you.
That is so powerful what you just said, because it's like there's no such thing as one size fits all,
exactly.
right?
Yes.
And this is something that I hear so often. And I don't really like that. It's like I'm not going to do something on the long term, something that I don't like, right? So very, very powerful. Some of the things that you just shared today, because I see like a lot of people, they're like weekend warriors, right?
Yes.
So it's like they're working all week, and then on the weekend they go hiking. A lot of people like to go hiking in town, running,
exercise.
and then they hurt themselves. But it's like no pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. I have to keep on going through, and that may be the worst thing that they could do, because they don't allow the body to recover itself. And something you mentioned that's very, very powerful is like when you feel your body, something wrong with your body. Pain could be one of those things. It could be an action signal, right?
Yes.
That there's something wrong that has to be corrected. But we live in a society where there's like a pill or the drink for everything, kind of like to numb the pain, if you will, right? It's kind of, and what I tell people is like, it's like if you're driving down the street on your car and you see the oil light coming in, right? It's like you're short of oil, right? So taking that medication might be the same thing that just cutting the light, so the light doesn't show up, but you didn't really solve the issue, right?
Exactly.
So we're gonna take a little break right now. We're gonna come back. and then we're going to talk about some other things. But this
Sure.
is really fascinating because your body is amazing,
Oh,
right?
of course
The
it is,
ability of our bodies
Mhm.
to recover, to live longer for longevity, but there's some things that we need to do. And we're here with an expert, so I'm so
Thank you,
proud,
sir.
by the way. Dr. Donald Ozello, we're going to talk about his book when we get back. You do want to get that book, and you want to make sure anybody that is an athlete that exercises get that book. So we're here with Manifesting Your Dreams, and I want you to think about your health. I want you to think about your area of expertise, how you can manifest your dreams. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. Please do yourself a big favor and watch Manifesting Your Dreams with Pablo Miguel at the social media shows every Monday at 3 p.m. My name is Donald Ozello, Dr. Donald A. Ozello, DC. I am a doctor of chiropractic in Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you, and do yourself a big favor and watch Manifesting Your Dreams every Monday at 3 p.m.
And welcome back. You're here at Manifesting Your Dreams with Pablo Miguel. We're having a blast. This is one of the most fun interviews that I have. And actually, I wish I would be taking notes. So I know I'm going to watch this again because everything that is coming out of your mouth is powerful, powerful. But we're going over specialized knowledge. If you like to reach your goals, if you want to manifest your dreams, right, which is what that craving that we all have,
Yes.
right? We have it. I like to see this happening in my life. There's 17 principles that if you go through them, it's kind of like a recipe, right, to have the perfect cake or the perfect meal, and you cannot miss those things. So many people just try to make it with one or two things, right? And one of those things is acquiring specialized knowledge. You want to be on the top 2% of your field. Whatever you're doing, whatever you want to achieve, there's probably a lot of people that are trying to do the same thing, right?
Yes.
So how do you become world best at what you're doing? You want to acquire specialized knowledge, right? You want to look at people that are already successful in your field, learn from them. If they have a book, if they've done a movie, you want to watch that. That way you can shorten the curve, right? And Dan actually is one of the few chiropractors here in town that actually has published a book. And I know most people that we talk to, they say, oh, there's a book in me. I like to I like to write. So he wrote a book, and actually it's full of information. Because sometimes you see somebody publish a book and you open it up and you say, oh my God, this is like they just put 4 to 5 things together. You've done a lot of research to write that book. So maybe somebody watching today, maybe they're thinking about writing a book, right? How did you make that happen?
Well, first of all, the book started as it was a series of articles that I had written, and someone suggested to me and said, you should put those in a book. And I thought, hey, that's good. And then as I went back and looked at the articles, I said, I could make these so much better. And so the book came out of that, and it was originally 10, and then it became 12, then 15, then 20, and it just kind of grew and grew and grew. And when I published the book the first time, the book is self-published through Create Space, and I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest with you. I had absolutely no clue.
And they didn't teach you that in chiropractic school.
No,
right?
they
How
did
to
not.
write a book,
No,
right?
they did not. And so I published the book, and it looked very amateurish. And so I was getting feedback from people, long-term patients, long-term friends, and I am a big fan of giving and getting honest feedback. Not feedback that says, oh, that's great, or feedback that says, that stinks, but feedback that can actually be used to help someone. Just like when we were in Toastmasters, we have the evaluations. Feedback is so important, and I got feedback from people, and I started to really fix the book, and I got feedback from other authors. They helped me out. I got help from so many people. I mean, I could probably sit here and try to name them all, and I would skip half of them because so many people gave me help. But it's just the idea of getting feedback from people, that constructive criticism, and not only from experts, but people who were also working on their book, or people who were had just published, or people who had published multiple things, people who were publishing with big companies, all types of authors and readers. And I use that information to really make the book into something now that I am very proud of, and something that is exactly how I want it to be. And so the point was in the very beginning, I should have looked for help, and I should have spoken to people, but I did not. I figured, oh man, I'm going to put this book out there, people are going to start buying it, it's going to help me so much, and it doesn't work that way. So you get help from people, look at other people's books who are in your category, see what they're doing. Please don't copy their stuff, okay? But look at what they are doing successfully in the book, making the book, developing the book, and marketing the book. I love to do public speaking. I get out there and I speak all the time. I have presentations almost every month in my office, and I try to set up presentations outside of my office. And that is a great tool to market the book. It's basically getting out and meeting potential readers and potential clients who may be buying the book. So it's an idea of, you could sit down and do nothing and hope people buy your book, and usually that's not going to happen. Or you can get out there and go to where your readers are at and find them and do presentations. Make connections at places where you can speak at, where you can do presentations. Meet other authors and find out where they are doing presentations, where they are doing book signings, and make connections with them and meet their connections. So it's the idea of getting feedback, using that feedback in a positive sense, finding out what your mistakes were and learning from your experiences. We've all done that. Believe me, I've made plenty of mistakes in my life, and making mistakes is a great learning experience. So with the book, it was the idea of just learning how to go out and make the book the way I wanted it to, and then to find people that want to read it, people that are interested in this topic. And it's a sports medicine book. It focuses more towards runners, but athletes of all sports can use it as a tool. Many of my readers have told me that they use it as a reference book. They said that they've read it, but they keep it on a shelf. If something hurts, and they go to the book and they say, oh, I think I may be developing, like I mentioned before, runner's knee, patellofemoral pain syndrome, or I may be developing something in hamstring. So they go to the book and they look at it, and they use the book as a tool. And so the book is a tool to help people, to help athletes to prevent and rehabilitate, recover from their injuries, and to prevent reoccurrences, because that's so important. But getting back to the book, make as many relationships and business connections as you can, and it's going to help you a great deal. I go to a lot of author events, like local author events here in town, and I have met so many people, and their book may be completely different than mine, as they may have written a science fiction book, or they may have written, a story that took place in the 1800s. But it's the idea of talking to them and learning from them and getting inspired through other authors too, because you talk to people and they are saying, oh man, I did this for this book, now I'm working on my next book, and I have the plan set up for my third book, fourth book, I wrote this one with this person, blah, blah, blah. And you get fresh ideas and you get inspiration and motivation from these people. It helps to increase your drive and your motivation to get out there and do it. So make some connections, talk to other authors, find out what other people are doing that has helped them to be successful. Because we had kind of said before, people say, oh, it's an overnight success, and I don't know of anyone who
it doesn't exist.
It was an overnight success.
It doesn't exist.
There's no way. We've all taken our bumps and our bruises. We've all fallen down, and we're all going to get knocked down. And it's just the idea of getting back up and continuing on your path. Yeah, you may have to modify your path. You may have to modify the way that you're doing things, but you still continue.
So many takeaways, and so many takeaways from what you just said. And we're talking about specialized knowledge, and you just described the fact that you wrote the book, how you use specialized knowledge actually to publish a book, right? And a couple of things I do like to mention is, number one, don't think you have to be perfect before you start doing something, right? So many people think like, oh, I need to know the right publishing house, and I need to know the right this and the right that. Just get going, okay? Just whatever you want to do, whether you do a YouTube channel or you want to write a book, whatever you want to do, just get going with the idea that you're not going to be perfect, right? That it's going to be hit and miss. But then you mentioned something also that I think is very valuable, because so many times I talk to people and they let their ego get in the way, right? They don't want to hear from anybody else. They know what they're doing. Don't tell me what to do. And you're laughing because you run into people like that, right? And you were very humble. You were very humble. You were like that too, huh?
Yes, definitely.
But something made you humble, because the way you describe, you said, I like to hear what people have to say, because the idea, one of my key principles is that take action now, and I can always do it better the next time, right? I can always do it better the next time. So I'm going to go, I'm going to do this. But then the key is like, I'm going to learn from it, right? What did I do right? You want to ask yourself that question. What went right here? Because whatever went right, you want to be able to identify so you can do it again. And the next question I ask myself is, what can I do better the next time, right? And then you make one or two or three distinctions. So the next time, and I did that with public speaking. I mean, I'm doing that with this show. It's like, we didn't know what we were doing, but it's like every week I said, okay, what was good? What can we do better the next time? And then the other thing that you did that is very, very valuable is you want to associate with people that have done a little bit better than you. Maybe they've done it a little longer, and you were paying attention to the suggestions they make and so forth, right? So then the next book that you publish, more than likely, you're going to build upon all the things that you learned, right? And it's going to be an even better book and more successful and things like that. So remember that. Associate yourself with people that are already doing what you're doing. And that's why conferences are so good. That's why actually an organization like Toastmasters, when we met, is such an amazing organization, because then you get to meet other people. And then you learn that the people that you look up to, right? Because whether it's an athlete or anybody that is so successful, when you get to know them, you go like, oh my God, they made a lot of mistakes, they had a lot of failures, but you don't know those stories, right? You only see them the way, how they scored a touchdown or whatever, right? And then the other thing that you learn is that these people, they were very determined to actually keep going, right? So let's talk, I don't know if we have enough time, but let's talk a little bit about, because you have a very impressive, I mean, I was really blown away, YouTube channel, right? With so much information that you're sharing for free there, right? Because anybody can go to a YouTube channel, and then you have some short videos and learn different things, right? So maybe somebody watching right now is saying, whatever I'm doing, I need to get into social media, how should I do that? Share some of your experiences on YouTube, and why did you do it, and a couple of takeaways from it, you know?
Well, one of the things with social media, I was kind of reluctant to do social media at first.
And a lot of people do that, right? I hear that a lot, right?
Nah, and I used to always make this joke. I used to say that I think social media is something people do at work instead of doing their work.
And that's probably true partially, right?
And that was not the case at all. When I started to write for a company and they said, we want you to get on Facebook, we want you to get on Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+. And so I got on those for that purpose. And then the next thing you know, I started to use it for my own business. And people were saying, oh, send out links to your articles, send out this information, that information. And it started to grow from there. I was just taking people's feedback, people's suggestions, and I was using it to help me improve what I was doing. And so with the book, I saw another book that someone had written, and it had QR codes in it. to links to audio and to video. So I was like, that's a good idea. I have done some videos. And so then I started to do more videos on my YouTube page.
Wow.
Where it was directly correlated to things that were in the book. And then my YouTube page has just grown from there, because since the book has been published, I have 3 new YouTube shows: Dr. Ozello Sports Medicine Report, Championship Fitness, and 2 Minutes of Anatomy. And
Wow.
I use those 3 shows to promote health and fitness and function to help other people live better lives.
That is amazing. Mm-hmm. And we're out of time for this segment,
okay.
But hold that thought, because
Sure.
we're going to share that, so you don't want to go anywhere, because we have a lot to share with you, mm-hmm. and something exciting thing. So we're going to really get you to know how you could actually manifest your dreams. So if you'd like to stay in contact with us, just go to manifestingyourdreams.net, give us your information, and we're going to send you a report. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
One.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Saved by Grace. On this show, I'm Lance Parvin. And on this show, we talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and testimonies of how people have actually been shown grace and mercy. So we'll have a whole barrage of interesting guests sharing their stories, their testimonies, what's been going on in their life. And you can always catch us on social media shows. We shoot at different times during the week, so if you can't catch us live, you can always watch the recordings. So we look forward to seeing you in the upcoming weeks. We'll see you. As always, stay close to the Lord. God bless you.
And welcome back. This is Pablo Miguel here. We're in Manifesting Your Dreams. We're having a great time here with Dr. Donald Ozello. And then one of the things that people were asking, they want to know more. In other words, if they're local here, how can they contact you and things like that. So there's a bunch of resources that actually Dan has for you. So we're going to make sure we go over all of them, right?
Yes.
Yes. So share a little bit, like for instance, if you're local on the second Monday, the second Monday of every month, one of the things that Dan does is he opens up his office and you cover different topics. So they could just come for free and just get to see one of your presentations.
Yeah, the second Monday of every month, I have my spinal health class in my office. My office is located on the first floor of the, on the second floor of the building. The class is held in the conference room on the first floor. Every month it's a different topic. I have done low back exercises, posture correction exercises, foam rolling, stretching, nutrition, just general health, many different topics. So I try to do something different every month, and it helps my patients and people who are not my patients to learn things that they can do to help themselves. So
and I love that.
Yeah,
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. Every Monday evening starts, the second Monday of every month. It starts at 6:30 and goes for about 1 hour.
Fantastic. That's great. And that's one of the things you like about you, Dan, is that you provide so much education,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So much education, and that's very, very valuable, right? The second thing you can do, and I love the title of your book, Maximize Performance,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Who doesn't want to maximize performance and also minimize injuries, mm-hmm. right? Because you see, like I'm following the World Cup right now, right? And you see some of these players are really amazing, and then suddenly they hurt themselves,
yes.
and now they cannot play for the rest of the tournament, right? And if there's a few things that they were paying attention, Minimize the Injuries by Dr. Donald Ozello, DC, and Amazon.com, they can get it there?
Yes, yes. Well, first of all, one of the things about the book is when we talk about sports, there's different abilities that everybody has. But the most important ability is availability. Because if you are not available to help yourself and to help your team because of an injury, then you're not doing any good, to be honest with you. So you want to do everything that you possibly can to prevent injuries and to recover from these injuries and to prevent a recurrence from injuries. Just like you talked about today with the soccer tournament, if a player is injured, he's not out there helping his team.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you want to make sure that you are available to help yourself and to help your team. My book is called Running, Maximize Performance and Minimize Injuries. My name is Donald Ozello. It's Ozello. I am a doctor of chiropractic. The book is available on Amazon in paperback and in ebook format, and it is also available at createspace.com, which is the publisher, and it's also available at my office and at my book signings and my presentations. I always have several copies of it with me. So please feel free, if you go to Amazon, type in the title of the book or type in my name, and it should come right up. And then get whatever format that you want, like I said, the paperback or the ebook format.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. And one thing I'd like you to cover is I was reading an article a while ago, like not that many people smoke nowadays as they used to before, right? I remember when I was in college, there was a picture of a doctor saying, this is the brand that doctors smoke the most, right? So in other words, I mean, that was like really, really a sad part of our history, right? But I read that they say that sitting right now, like sitting down, is the new smoking. Most people are just sitting down all day, right? So are there any tips you can do about that? You can give us
most definitely, most definitely. I am a firm believer that motion is the best medicine. Wow. I'm going to repeat that. Motion is the best medicine. Our bodies are designed to be moving,
right?
Our bodies are not designed to be sitting in a car for hours at a time. Our bodies are not designed to be sitting at a desk for hours at a time, or sitting on a couch, or playing video games, or being on a phone for hours at a time.
That's not motion, right?
No, it's not.
That thumb doesn't count like motion.
No.
Right?
Our bodies are designed for movement. So if you have a job where you sit down, stand up every 15-20 minutes, stretch towards the sky, move your neck around, move your shoulders around, and then sit back down in good posture. Break the static position. Then every hour, get up, walk around for 2 minutes. All right? Every couple hours, walk around for 5 minutes. Drink plenty of water while you're working, because then you're going to have to get up because you have to go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
So get up and walk around. Break the static position. Get the best possible chair, get the best possible desk that you can. The sit-stand desk, I love the sit-stand desk. I think it's a fantastic tool, but you don't want to be standing for 8 hours either. So you have to sit for 10, 20, 30 minutes, then stand for 10, 20, 30 minutes, and then go back to the other position. Have a good chair. If you can use one of the fit balls as your chair, go ahead and do that. That is great. It helps you a great deal because it improves balance and what we call proprioception. Proprioception is the body's awareness of where it's at in nature.
Oh, wow.
So it develops the stronger, smaller structures, especially very strong muscles in the spine, deep muscles in the spine called the multifidi muscles. They have a very high rate of proprioceptive feedback. So using the fit ball as your chair is going to help you a great deal to improve your proprioception. So those are just some simple things that you can use. Yeah, when you are working, I do the same thing. I look at the screen and I do one of these, and then I catch myself and I'm like,
and then you get good posture.
I get back in a good posture. So as soon as you see yourself doing that, get back in a good posture. That's why I say stand up, stretch, move around just for a few seconds, and then sit back down, because usually when we sit back down, we are back in good posture. So you want to make sure that, yes, you are not sitting down for too long. It's very tough when we are driving long distance. It's tough on the body, it's tough on the spine, tough on the hips, just the blood flow to all those areas. Get up, take a break, walk, pull over to the rest stop, pull over whenever you can. Just take a break for a few minutes, walk around, and then get back in your car and go. When you are working, same type of thing. Take those short, frequent breaks. Break the static positioning, allow your body to move the way that it should.
That is fantastic, because it's something that I've done unconsciously, if you will. Like when I go a lot to California and things like that, and it's like most people try to beat their time, right? Oh, I'm making it 4 hours. Let me see if I can make it. And I'm the kind of guy that when I drive there, I allocate time just to stop and take a little break, but I didn't think about the health benefits of actually, number one, I'm not rushed, right? Okay. And number two is like I like to get out of the car and move a little bit, right? You mentioned people that are sitting down all the time. Our bodies were not designed, right? Yes. And our society keeps creating things so we don't have to move at all. I remember when I was a kid, I had to get up to change the channel on TV, right?
That's true.
It's like now, it's like you don't even, it's like you have to get up and change the channel. So then you really thought twice before you were going to change the channel. Now we've got like people just changing channels and things like that. But one of the things that you mentioned that is very powerful also, so many people say, I don't drink water because I don't want to have to go to the bathroom so often. So that's a mistake twice, right?
Exactly.
Number one, you need to get the water, and number two, you can use the fact that you have to go to the bathroom as an opportunity to move.
Yes.
So you look at it as a positive, right?
Exactly.
And right now, you can use technology to help you, because you can set up an alarm in your cell phone, in your smartphone, that every 15 minutes or 40 minutes or something like that, a reminder just to get up, stand up, do a little bit of movement or so forth. And there are even apps, some apps that are for free they're actually designed to do that.
Yeah, those are
so
fantastic.
You don't want to be the one that is sitting all the time, and then you have issues as you get a little older because you didn't move enough. So thank you
Motion.
Thank you for sharing.
Like I said, motion is the
I'm
best
going to write
medicine.
that down. I'm going to write that down.
Okay.
Motion, because we were designed to move, not to be stuck, right?
I mean, just you think about maybe over the past 75 to 100 years, have humans started to sit down more than they've actually been standing up and walking and moving for their vocation, for their everyday activities.
Yes.
And like you said, smoking, that's a common saying we hear now, smoking is the new sitting, just because of the health issues that it is causing. And you think about the brain. When we are walking, when we are exercising, the heart starts to beat a little bit stronger. We have to bring in oxygen, and that oxygen also goes to the brain. So it helps to keep our brains healthy. It helps to keep our muscles healthy. Everything gets benefit from motion.
That is fantastic. Really, really powerful. So hopefully you learn a few things today. I know I learned a lot. We have a lot of things happening, but you want to become an expert in your field.
Yes.
That one of the things that I say is like, pay attention to what Dan shared with us today. Look at all the effort he put into to manifesting his dream. You have an amazing life.
Thank
you
you,
live in a beautiful place. You have a very successful practice. You're a published author. You are a well-known speaker here in town and things like that. But that didn't come without a lot of effort, sacrifice, making mistakes, and that's the part that most people nowadays, they think they don't have to go through, right? But if you want to be successful, you have to be ready. Just get your ego out of the equation. Take a little bit of humble pie, right? And I'm going to make some mistakes, right? Yes. But always say, hey, what can I learn from this? Because one of the biggest things I learned this from Tony Robbins, was like when I fail, or supposedly I fail, right? And Napoleon Hill talks about that many, many times in the book, right? Says if you learn something, yes, you do not define that as a failure, right? They say like Henry Ford, right? He tried so many times to do something, and then, oh, you fail. And in an interview, a journalist says, how do you feel that you failed 9,900 times? That's how many times he actually tried to invent it, right? Yeah. And then he said, I didn't fail. Who told you that? I didn't fail 9,900 times. I said, I discovered 9,900 times how not to invent the incandescent bulb, right? So you can actually reframe what we think of a failure, and you say this is a learning experience, right? That then you can inspire other people. So we're out of time here today. Sure. We're going to have you again on another show, because I know you have so much value. Definitely, we're going to be next Tuesday. Thank you, sir. The second Tuesday of next month, we're going to be at your office. Second Monday. We're going to learn there, and I'm going to dive into that book. So hopefully you enjoy our interview today, and you go to manifestingyourdreams.net. Make sure you follow us, and then make sure you manifest your dreams, because we want to have you in the show the next time. Have a fabulous day and a great week. We'll see you the next time.
Thank you, everybody.